You know, before I make this video, I want to start by being a little bit honest. It's like my 10th take trying to make this video, trying to make it come out nice. Every the first 14 times I tried to make this video, I stuttered, said the wrong words, rambled too long without making a point. Got bored of my voice. So I'm hoping the 15th time it's a little bit better. And I'm gonna change my approach a little bit with this one. By being a little bit honest, by being a little bit candid. I'm not the best public speaker. I'm not the most interesting speaker. I have the tendency to get lost in my own point, to ramble in circles before making a point, to forget my point before I even make it, and to get overwhelmed by my thoughts and lose my point, or make a point that has nothing to do with the initial point I was trying to make. I want to show you guys what it feels like from the perspective of a neurodivergent person, particularly someone with ADHD and autism, what it looks like to try to be functioning and normal in a society which rewards those who are able to muster a level of structure and coordination in their personal lives and professional lives. It's tough for me to come across as structured and composed and coherent, because for me, my natural order is chaos. You know, when I think about issues in my head, it's like a 1,000-mile-per-hour train trying as hard as it can to stay on top of the tracks. And, you know, these structures that society requires me to fall in line with, they don't jive and align with and resonate with the natural way my brain goes about thinking about issues and doing things. So it's led to certain problems right now in my life. It's led to some professional problems where there's a comfortable way of doing something, but that way of doing something that I like or that I'm familiar or comfortable with, it may not be the way that my manager likes it, or the way that my employer has designated a certain job to be done. So would lead specifically to run-ins with a manager because I come across as incompetent or failure to follow instructions or inattentive. It can also resonate, or it can also show itself in personal venues and personal situations as well. And I would argue that has been the toughest part for me, especially these past couple of months, this past year. I really put the effort, or tried to put the effort in making headways and making strides in my personal life. And it's fallen on deaf ears, it's fallen on ears that don't understand the effort I'm putting in to make these things happen. So, for example, like romantic situations, right? I come across as a very normal, very approachable person, decently tall, decently attractive, 6'4", you know, not like anyone's paying attention. But, you know, in New York, you know, these are certain things that get you certain looks over other people, if you know what I'm trying to say. But I feel like I have this unhealthy marriage between my aesthetics, right? The person that I come across as, you know, if you want to call it pretty privilege, right? There's an unhealthy marriage between how I look and my internals, how I come across to other people. So I've had situations where people have flirted with me in a relationship sense or a romantic sense, or I have friends or people that think I'm cool that necessarily, maybe after learning a little bit more about who I am, how I communicate, they kind of take two steps back, so to speak. And that kind of hurts me. That's a little bit painful. And I don't really know how to, you know, maneuver these type of situations anymore. Because at the end of the day, there's two options. You act most like your authentic self, your most unfiltered self, the self that would make your childhood self happy and fulfilled, which is the person the current self that I'm trying to live out more effectively and more fully. Or you put on this masking act. And the ironic part about the masking is that the mask doesn't fool anyone. People always have an idea that something underneath that mask doesn't necessarily match with the person that they're seeing. So it leads to a lot of hurt feelings. It leads to a lot of frustration. For you, it leads to this unhealthy dynamic, as I mentioned before. So what's the point of me saying this? What's the point of this camera being on me? Why am I telling you guys this right now? Well, I think this year is going to be a little bit different for me, and it's going to be a newer challenge for me. I have exactly what I need from a career perspective, financially speaking, resources wise. I'm more comfortable and more well off than I've ever been at any point in my life. So in that department, I'm doing good, but I would really love for this year to be, this year needs to be a test for me to essentially determine how important is this interpersonal stuff going to be, and to what extent am I able to move the needle on those interpersonal things at this point in my life. I just turned 26 a month ago. I'm not getting any younger, and I am getting closer to 30. So I'm looking forward to exploring my mental health a little bit more, looking forward to, incorporating better routines and rituals into my daily routine for the sake of my mental health, for the sake of my physical health, for the sake of my emotional well-being. And ultimately, I'm curious to see the downstream effects of me investing more time and energy into all these things, and how that affects my life, how that affects, my work life, how that affects my relationships, how that affects my family life, and more importantly, how does it make me feel on a daily basis, under the hood. Right now, as things are, I have this ever-existing sense of dread and anxiety because I know that things aren't really all good underneath the hood. So I hope that was helpful. I hope this exercise helps folks really try to get a look deeper down and how other folks that have this type of ailment think about these issues. Again, I think it's helpful because I might be able to pass more than others that have ADHD and autism. But if you guys have any questions, definitely let me know in the comment section. Would love to go back and forth with folks and really kind of start a dialogue with this, because again, I don't have all the answers, and I'm sure you guys don't have all the answers either. But I think just opening up a dialogue about these type of things could really help folks at any point in their journey get to a more healthy and more freeing place. So that's all I got for today. This has been Jamal of the Kyodai Show. Definitely going to bring some more folks on the show to talk about this more in depth. Let me know if you guys have any questions. I'll talk to you soon. Peace.